We acknowledge the first Australians as the traditional custodians of the continent, whose culture is the oldest living culture in human history. We pay our respects to elders, past, present and emerging, and we respect their cultural heritage, beliefs and relationship with the land. We extend our respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here today. They share the memories, traditions and hopes of the traditional ancestors with the new generations today and in the future. We would also like to thank them for looking after this land for thousands of years.
Good morning, everyone. It is fabulous to have you here today to celebrate World Environment Day, which was yesterday. Virtual Excursions Australia was able to have funding from Amazon Web Services in Community Program to be able to put all of these amazing sessions on for free to celebrate World Environment Day. This year's theme is looking at only one Earth and is really focused on living sustainably in harmony with nature. So our first session today is with Nature Know Australia, and we have Mary Bell, who's going to do a bit of a nature break and show us how we can connect with nature that is all around us. So this is a great way to start all of our World Environment Day sessions. So I'll hand over to Mary now, and hopefully you've all got your leaf as well. But if not, you'll be able to follow up and do some of these activities later on in your own time. We'll be sharing lots of additional resources with you, plus a recording of the session after the program today. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Karen, for this wonderful introduction and indeed opportunity to share a nature break with you. And I begin by acknowledging the Darug people, the country that I am on here this morning. And I thank the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people everywhere that care for this country, that have amazing connection to the spaces and places, air, soil and water that we live on. And it's their knowledge that has helped care for this country. And we learn so much from all that they share with us. So who am I? I'm Mary, and I'm a Nature Connector guide, and I run forest therapy walk experiences, and I like to help people connect to nature, because nature is a very special place that I appreciate, and I'm sure you do too. And it needs us and we need it. So it's a two-way thing. So I'll let you into a little secret today, and that is that you make this session your own. So you could be part of this session and not do anything, but I'm telling you, you will still receive the benefits of being a part of it. I encourage you, though, to make this session your own and really immerse yourself and your senses to get the wellness benefits that nature provides us. And you may know already that nature makes you feel better, but perhaps you could reflect on that this morning and have a think about why you feel so much better outside or in the outdoors or in nature, and what kind of discoveries have you already made about nature, and what are you still wanting to learn? Because the more time that you spend in nature, the more that you understand it and the more questions you get. And so I have found that taking the quiet, mindful practice and approach that I'm going to immerse you in this morning has really helped me feel better, and you can't go wrong with that. So all I ask is that you respect the space of others around you, and be mindful and be quiet in your approach, and go with your most earnest approach in being part of today's session. And teachers, this is your opportunity to actually take a little bit of a breath and receive the benefits as well. And I trust that you'll feel better after the session. We'll check in and see how you go. So how do you relate to nature currently? Do you spend time outdoors each day? Do you get out in the playground and perhaps notice what you see? I'm hoping that you'll approach nature in a little bit of a closer mind after today's session. And really start to look at it a little bit more closer, because that will really help you get the benefits of feeling so much more happy, alive, or maybe you just feel more centered and clear or calm. There are lots of different ways that you might feel. And I'm going to suggest to you that you become nature buddies, that you care for the country, the places and spaces and special natural places, whether they're in your garden, whether it's tending to a pot plant at home, or whether it's in the playground or in a natural space around you. I believe that as a nature buddy, you don't have to be any particular sort of person. You could be a nature connector, you could be a nature creative, you could be a nature thinker, you could be a nature philosopher, you could be a nature artist. We need all these different sorts and types of people to help make a difference, not only on World Environment Day, but every day, to help support our planet and the challenges it faces. So the first thing that we will do is take some time to breathe. So I'd like you to find a space where you can move and not bump into the person next to you. So I'll give you a minute to get that sorted out. And hopefully you've found a space that suits you. And I'd like you to start with taking a deep breath in. So in my practice in forest therapy, we talk a lot about Qigong, which is a Chinese practice of focusing. But the breath is really something that really can help us calm down, especially when we're feeling a bit anxious or worried about things. So let's take a deep breath in and hold it for 1 second and then breathe out. And breathing in and breathing out. And we might just take it up to the count of 2. So breathing in for 1, 2. Holding for 1, 2. And out for 1, 2. And another on that. So breathing in for 1, 2. Holding for 1, 2. And a breath out for 1, 2. So let's deepen the breath even more and go in for 1, 2, 3. Hold for 1, 2, 3. And out, 2, 3. And in for 1, 2, 3. Hold for 1, 2, 3. And out for 1, 2, 3. And let's take it up a notch to 4. So in for 1, 2, 3, 4. And out for, hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. And out, 2, 3, and 4. And in once again for 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. And out for 1, 2, 3, 4. Wonderful. Okay, you might want to give yourself a bit of a shake. And it's a little bit chilly here in Sydney. I don't know what it's like where you are, but I'm going to do some cupping with my hand and tap the body to warm up a little bit. So if you're feeling a bit cold, this is a good one. So tapping up your arms first It's okay to make noise. It lets you know what you're doing. And my friend Janet taught me this yesterday, and I think it's a really great way to warm up. And tapping your shoulders, and you might want to just tap from your toes up your legs, so the front of your legs, both legs, back of your legs, and up your thighs, both sides, outer, and to the front, and then just tapping gently on your tummy and just a little bit around your chest. Oh, I wonder if you've warmed up a little bit from that. I do certainly feel much more warmer now. So now I'd like you to put your feet on the ground and kind of wiggle your toes a little bit, kind of like you're making each toe touch the ground one at a time, giving them a little bit of a stretch, and also just feeling into the ground, almost like you're a tree. So you're standing tall and you are going to get your feet connected to the ground, almost like roots to the surface of the soil. And then make your roots go deep down and feel strong and supported, and have your legs, maybe relax your legs a little bit, but feel strong like a tree, and feeling your hips feeling stable, your body feeling stable. And now take your arms almost like branches and just give them a bit of a wave and a wiggle, okay? And that's fantastic, everybody. That's really good, getting into that. That's good. And then maybe it's a little bit windy today, so perhaps your arms are waving a little bit as the breeze goes back and forth. In fact, it's going a little bit windy, and maybe even your head tilts a little bit as well. Just be gentle. No need to overdo it. Just be gentle to your body, but enjoy the process of feeling like you're a tree in the breeze. And now I'd like you to perhaps take your palms of your hands, almost like leaves, and push them out to catch the sun, to give you the energy from the sun to make your food to grow. You're going to get lots of energy from the sun through your leaves. And you can wave your hands above your head to get that feeling, and then just get into moving your hands around and perhaps gently bringing them down to your side. And let's just take a moment to just be still. We're wanting to slow down today and take our time. There's no rush. So for our first sense, we're going to look at the sense of touch. So have a think about your feet, and can you feel the socks around your feet? Are your root systems touching the soil below you? Just have a sense of what that really feels like for you. And now, do you feel the shoes touching your feet? Can you feel them touching the sides of your shoes? Do your shoes touch the ground, and can you get a sense of what the ground feels like beneath you? And now working up our legs, do you have clothing that's feeling like it's touching your body? Can you sense what that feels like? And your shirt on the top of you, how does that feel? Do you feel clothing on your arms? How does that feel? Is there a sense of the texture of the type of clothing that you have on you? What would that feel like if you were a tree? What would your bark feel like? Would it be soft? Or does it feel a little bit more hard? Does it have bumps on it? Does your clothing have bumps on it? Are there ridges? Can you feel that on your skin? And I don't know if there's a window near you or a sense of a cooler feeling in the room, but I often feel that on my cheeks. Can you feel your face? Can you feel where there might be a breeze coming from in the room? And how would that feel if you were a tree in the forest? And where would the breeze be coming from if you were a tree in the forest? Beautiful. Okay, just taking a moment now. And we're going to bring in the sense of taste. So can you feel inside your mouth and think back, can you taste what the last thing that you ate was? Can you remember that taste? Does it still feel like that taste in your mouth? I can feel the taste of the tea that I sipped before I started the session. So perhaps there's something that's in your mouth that you can taste. Can you really, you might like to close your eyes and feel whether you can sense that taste. And trees probably don't taste things, but they do have scents around them, and there are a lot of scents in the forest. Can you taste with your tongue the smells around you? And just take a moment to perhaps move your tongue around your mouth and see. And if you're feeling a little bit brave, you might like to open your mouth and use your tongue to taste the air around you. No one's looking if you close your eyes. I'm not looking. Okay, fantastic. So let's bring in our sense of looking. So this is our stronger sense. We use that a lot to look around us, but we often look ahead or down on a screen during our day or in our workbooks. So I encourage you to look in different directions and soften your gaze. So if you're out in nature, you would soften your gaze and look around maybe to the left, and just use your eyes and just perhaps there's a window where you can look out at something outside like a tree or the sky and clouds if you're lucky. Maybe there's a pot plant or a fish tank in the classroom that you can just watch for a minute. And if not, I've got a painting behind me. Perhaps you can just look at some of the detail on that. And you can look around to the right. Perhaps you might notice some shadows or shapes, different shapes between the light of what you're looking at. I'm seeing a glint of sunlight that's glistening through and making all sorts of different rainbows and different light shapes in front of me. And then it's really fantastic to kind of capture the awe, especially when you look up at the sky or at a tree. So just relaxing your neck and looking up at the sky and looking just at the sky above you and what you can see there. Perhaps you're looking at the roof. Perhaps you're noticing something with your relaxed eyes. And something that you can do is close your eyes and perhaps start rubbing your hands together, getting a warmth on your hands and just cupping them over your eyes and taking the time to just gently open your fingers and experience that with your eyes closed, and see if you can sense where the light's coming from in the room. And then just really open them wide and gently open your eyes and just see if there's something that's really capturing your attention. I'm looking at a plant in the room at the moment. I'm seeing a beautiful green leaf and it's twisted a funny direction, but it looks so pretty because I can see other colours through it and it looks transparent. And it's just giving a real sense of inquisitive looking leaf that's actually trying to capture light in the room. So these are some of the ways that you can use your eyes differently when you're observing up closely. And I really encourage you to explore the world of small and look up close with your eyes at things that you see outside in the garden or when you're in nature. It really is so special to look at small things. And now we're going to use the sense of smell. So if you do have your leaf there, take that now. I've got a eucalyptus leaf, which I highly recommend. So I've got my leaves in front of me. And you might like to just smell your leaf. And just close your eyes, really helps focus in on that. Is there a scent of your leaf that reminds you of something? And it doesn't have to be a leaf. Perhaps there's some other nature thing around you that's like a piece of bark or whatever. Even soil is good to smell. And just sense exactly what it is and take a deep breath in with your nose. And take it up to the top of your head and see if you can really draw it in. And then breathe it down into your stomach and really sense how that smell makes you feel. I love the smell of eucalyptus. It really makes me feel alive. It's a really special smell. And if you want, you can crush your leaf. And that releases the oil cells in something like a eucalyptus leaf. And see if that makes it smell a little bit different or stronger. Just try that out. See how that smells. Really, really, really go in close and do that. And now I'd like you to take the leaf, or I've got some other leaves here, and just really look at the leaf closely and see what colours it has, what appeals to you about this leaf. Is there some different design? I've got some special holes and other different designs on my leaf. And in fact, it looks different on the other side as well. And really take time to trace slowly round the leaf with the tip of your finger and see what that feels like. Get your sense of touch really alive by doing that. And I also encourage you, perhaps you'd like to use your nail to touch the leaf and other parts of your hand or your finger, because we have touch senses not only on our fingertips but on other parts of our body, and it's very interesting to do that. Perhaps you'd like to take it on your cheek. Feel what that feels like. And on the back of your hand. And perhaps even on your arm. And you can do this with other parts of nature as well. So that's a lovely thing to do with a leaf. And one of the ways that you can really connect with your leaf is to use it to slow down your breathing. So if you'd like to hold it in front of you, you can just blow gently on it and watch it move. And you can move it further away. And maybe that takes a longer, slower breath to move your leaf. And see how your breath has just changed a little bit from doing that. And the last thing that we'll do in our senses is to just really listen. So it's great to close your eyes and just listen out for sounds you can hear that are further away. Perhaps there are sounds of nature. Perhaps there are sounds that are more human-made. But often I can hear bird calls when I do this. And just take that sound into your body. Can you listen for whether it's a dull sound or a sharp sound? Is there a descriptive word you can use to describe it? And how does it make you feel? Does it make you feel safe? Does it make you feel excited? Is it a familiar sound that you've heard before? And does it make you wonder what it might be? And just use this time to just listen out for a minute. We'll just do that. Lovely. I could hear the hum. I think it was the hum of the wind. I wonder what you heard. So just before we finish our session, I'm just going to read a tiny little bit of poetry because it's just a lovely way of capturing a moment. And here is something from Socrates. And he says, he was a great philosopher from a long time ago. And he says, wisdom begins with wonder. So I'm thinking that the more we wonder, the wiser we get. How wonderful would that be to just take nature and wonder about that a little bit more, because we'll be wiser for doing so. And something from Helen Keller, and she didn't have all her senses. She couldn't see. She says, the best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart. And I think that's really beautiful. And so that's our sensory immersion this morning. I hope you enjoyed that. And I'm going to suggest to you that, of course, there are other senses. There are proprioceptive senses, of sense of movement, and I encourage you to explore that. And I just encourage you to take the time using some of those things that we used in our senses to explore when you're outside today, and see if it makes a difference to how you feel and whether you feel better for it and what questions it raises for you, because it can make you feel a lot more closer and connected to nature, and that's a really good thing. Other ways you might be able to do this is to create a sit spot. I do that. I go out into the bush very regularly and I sit in nature, but you could do it in your garden or even the playground and just sit quietly and do some of those things that we did with our senses just then and see what you notice. Or perhaps you're going to go home tonight and ask your parents to look at the stars, or take your time to look at a horizon and watch the sun setting, or even get up early and make your family happy as you get breakfast ready and pop out the window and have a look at the sunrise. And just, check in on the weather and the seasons and how they make you feel. There are so many different ways that you can do it. And I've got some suggestions to send to you or your teachers. And I've got some clips with some lovely nature sounds in them and other actions that you can take. And I've really enjoyed taking a moment to spend a nature break with you this morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Mary. That was wonderful. I would really just like to again just thank Mary for that. Wonderful start to our World Environment Day programming. I must admit, being able to have the time to close your eyes and listen is amazing. And as Mary was saying, you can follow this up by going out into the playground or your backyard, feeling the texture of the tree. And probably my big takeaway from this, if you don't have a favourite tree yet, this is a great time to find one. I've got a couple of favourite trees, I have to say, that have been with me for, a long time in my life that I love to look at, and they really help me relax and connect with nature. Mary's got some beautiful bark in her hand there as well. So go out and discover your favourite tree. That could be your one great thing that you do to celebrate World Environment Day and really connect with nature. And remember, keep that slow, beautiful breathing that you've done this morning, and have a wonderful day. And a big thank you to Mary for sharing her amazing expertise in helping us to slow down and connect with nature today. So hopefully I've got lots of you that will be joining us for other sessions today as well. But yeah, great way to start celebrating World Environment Day. Thank you, everyone, and a wonderful thank you to Mary.